Hi everyone, welcome back to the second week of my pantry challenge. I just did a really small grocery haul this week. I just needed a couple things. I got some milk, whipping cream, mac and cheese, chilies, nectarines, pierogies, cherries, strawberries, sugar, green peppers, and a cucumber. I also went over to my local frozen food store. They had sent me a coupon through my email for $5 off a $20 purchase. So I really wanted to take advantage of that. I picked up a package of cod fillets. These will just go in my freezer for a dinner. And then I also picked up some popcorn shrimp for my kids for lunches. So that was my grocery haul for my second week of my pantry challenge. So far this month, I have spent $58.86. It's day 8. We are going to make pizza for dinner. Earlier this day I had experimented with a make-your-own cheese set, so I had some balls of fresh mozzarella in my fridge that I needed to use up. These tomatoes were getting a little wrinkly, so I cut them up and put them on top, as well as these mushrooms. These were just leftover canned mushrooms. Now I'm going to put on some pepperoni that I have had in my freezer for a very long time. And finally, the fresh cheese. I just took the balls and sliced them up, put them on top of my pizza crust, and we'll take a look at the final plate. So here's my plate. I just have 2 slices of pizza as well as some watermelon on the side. I also decided to serve dessert that night. It was a cheesecake I had in my freezer, as well as the leftover cranberry sauce from the turkey from last week and a little bit of whipped cream. Day 9, and we are making quiche. I'm going to be making a hash brown crust instead of a pie pastry crust. You just shred some potatoes, make sure to wring them out really well, mix them with some oil and some salt and pepper. You're going to make sure to grease your pie plate really well. You put in your potatoes and then you just press them down really well so that there's no holes between the potato shards. You want to make sure it's nice and compressed so that the filling doesn't leak out the bottom. Then you're just going to stick your crust in a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes. I always prepare my filling while I wait for my crust to par bake. For the filling, I just have some bacon cooking, as well as I'm going to cut up an onion. I always just save the bacon grease in the pan, and then I like to fry the onion in that bacon grease until it just turns a nice golden brown. Next up is the custard filling. You're going to want 1 cup of heavy cream as well as 2 eggs. You just mix it all together, add a little bit of salt and pepper, and that's your filling. To prepare your quiche, first you're just going to sprinkle in your bacon, and then you're going to sprinkle in your cooked onions just on top of that. Next up, you're going to put on some Parmesan cheese. And then you're going to put on some Swiss cheese. I just had this Swiss cheese in my freezer. It had already been shredded up and it was still frozen, so I just sprinkled some of that on. And then on top of that, you're going to add your egg and cream mixture. And then you just stick it in the oven at 400 for about 15 minutes, and then you lower the temperature to 350 and bake it for 10 minutes. Here's the final quiche, and here is my plate. I just served it with some baby carrots on the side as well as some watermelon. It's day 10 and I am attempting sushi. I have never made this before, but I had a couple ingredients that I really wanted to use up. So first I'm going to make a tsunamono salad. I had half a cucumber left over in the fridge, so I just sliced that up as thinly as I could. And then I'm going to take my dish here and I'm going to add in some sugar, some water, some rice vinegar, and some soy sauce. And then I'm going to throw in my cucumbers as well as some rice noodles that I had cooked earlier. I'm going to cover it and let it marinate in the fridge for the afternoon. Next up is the sushi rolls. I based my rolls on some sushi rolls that are in my local restaurants that I really enjoy. I wasn't sure how much rice to use for these rolls. I just watched a YouTube video to try and figure it out. I think I did end up using a little bit too much. I would use less next time, but they still tasted very good. For this roll, I added on some fried shrimp that I had from the freezer that I just cooked in my air fryer, some avocado, as well as some cream cheese. This is a really tasty combination. This was definitely my favorite out of the two rolls that I made. I also made a roll of spicy tuna. Now obviously I did not have any fresh sushi grade tuna, so I just took some canned tuna, mixed in some sriracha, and called it a day. This is in no way authentic in any way, but we did enjoy them. And here is the final plate with the sushi rolls and the sunamono salad. It's day 11, and I'm not gonna lie, I was very tired this day, so I made something very simple, some buffalo chicken salad. I took chicken tenders from the freezer, air fried them, tossed them in buffalo sauce, made a simple salad of lettuce with carrots, cheese, and some fried onions, added some ranch, a side of watermelon, and dinner was done. Day 12, and we're making chicken wings. This is a recipe I've been eating since I was a child, and it's still one of my favorites to this day. I will add the link in the description box if you want to go make it yourself. First, you just want to coat all your chicken wings in egg, and then you're going to want to add it to a bag full of flour with some salt and pepper and whatever seasonings you want to have in there. You're just going to want to shake it all around so that the chicken is really nicely coated so it fries up nice and crispy. Next up is our sauce. It is a mixture of sugar, water, white vinegar, and soy sauce. You're going to want to mix it really well, make sure all the sugar is dissolved. You just add some oil to a high-sided pan and then put in your chicken wings, fry them on both sides until they are brown and crispy. Then you put them in the oven, coat them in sauce, and bake them at 375 for half an hour. And here is our final plate. We have the chicken wings, we have a side of rice and steamed broccoli, and make sure to put extra sauce all over your rice. Day 13, and we are making brisket hash. First thing I'm going to do is slice up my vegetables. I have some potatoes here. I also used a green pepper that I had in my fridge, as well as an onion. I had taken my brisket out of the freezer to thaw in the fridge overnight, only to realize that it actually wasn't fully cooked, which I thought it was, and that it said I needed to cook it on the stovetop for 3 hours. This was at 5 o'clock at night, so it wasn't exactly ideal. Luckily, I just threw it in my Instant Pot covered in water and pressure cooked it for 1 hour, and it ended up perfect. So here's my brisket all cooked up and shredded and ready to be made into a hash. In my pan, I just melted some bacon fat. Now I'm going to add in the chopped up potatoes. I'm going to stir those around to coat them in the fat, and I'm going to let them cook for about 10 minutes. Then I'm going to take my green pepper, add that in with the potatoes, and as well cook it again for another 10 minutes. You can always add some water and cover it to let it steam for a little bit to help the potatoes cook faster. So now that they've been cooking for about 20 minutes all together, I'm going to add in my onion as well as some garlic. Now here is the brisket just going in. Now since this is fully cooked, you really kind of just want to incorporate it, add it all in, get it all nice and combined. It was looking a little bit dry, so I decided to add some HP sauce. Gives it a little bit more of a barbecue flavor. You're just going to toss that all around and get it all nicely combined. Finally, you're going to crack in however many eggs you want. I cracked in 3 because I was going to have 3 portions of this hash. And then cover it up and let it cook until the eggs are set. Here is my final plate. We have the hash with the egg. I also had a side of watermelon, and those are just some crepes that I had bought at IKEA that had been sitting in my freezer for far too long, so we just had those on the side as well.